on the CT side, and we are live and ready to get into it. It's pretty common buy right now, nothing super crazy. I don't know what would even constitute super crazy, but they've got 2 smokes and a couple of flashes.
Maybe 5 pairs of Julies on the other side here, and everybody with a Tech 9. But setting up for what appears to be a B execute, it's Nico and JKS with the util. JKS actually has a P250 here, so smokes and flashes at the ready. There's 2 players on the side to receive. That'll be ZywOo and Apex.
Trying to slow them down already. A little bit of a counter grenade coming out, but ZywOo, he's alone in here. Nice headshot to begin with. Apex on the follow-up, and that slows it down. ZywOo doesn't have to beat that much. He's a little bit worried about the real estate in there, and a nice return. Hunter and JKS, and it's right back into a 3-on-3. And our Lightning's fast bomb plant coming through as well. They didn't even slow it down. They go straight for it. So after plant, a lot is going to come down to whether or not Spinx can sneak up behind, and he's already been found. JKS, he's lightning quick here. Still goes down somehow. That's shocking. But there is enough damage. Hunter will take him down. Nico at range, and it's just dupreeh. 1 versus 2. No chance at all against the Cousins, and it's G2 to win the opening round.
Yeah, look, a great exchange on the side there from Vitality to defend, but the smokes were too strong. The rotation couldn't get through. Even Spinx around the rotation, finding JKS on the balcony. A tidy shot, but just not enough. And you mentioned the Cousins. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with here this evening. This is great from Apex and ZywOo to get 2. Right at that point, you're thinking, okay, this is looking very good for Vitality out the gates, but a couple of crispy ones back the other way, with the salvage weaponry of the dual Berettas and the P2K. And there's going to be intensity throughout every round here. Going into round number 2, a forced buy back ZywOo with the scout. Everybody else with some upgraded pistols and light util. And this is looking direct. HooXi's faking mid, and they're about to walk out onto A.
Yeah, just has to pull a little bit of attention, but what a headshot. That's ZywOo with the scout, like you said, and he was looking for that scalp again. He wanted a second one. Modesty's already out of the round. ZywOo comes back, but gotta be a little bit careful. He still has Megas down in shadow with the Deagle playing another headshot for ZywOo. He's finding them. Oh, the slow down inside of the bomb site, and it's a bit of a disaster. dupreeh. It's that trusty 5-7 to bring down HooXi. 2 versus 4.
Big concerns right now. Look at the flank coming in. Apex has made it all the way around the world from this B push. He's here very, very quickly. Locked in at JKS and Nico.
No doubt a huge issue. He's even going to find that. Oh, wait. He swapped out for it. Would have been better with the Deagle. Probably would have won that fight right away. Nico was already half health, so probably the Deagle would have taken care of business right away. 55 seconds now. He runs back just a little bit, and if they slow it down, they're probably hoping that Vitality are going to start to rotate away from this position, which we can tell they're not really doing at the moment.
Yeah, but look at the rotation of ZywOo over towards Cat with the scout. He's going to make the cross difficult. And as far as util goes, not a whole lot. A nade forward is going to do a lick of damage onto dupreeh here. But this cross, I don't think they'll be expecting ZywOo here. Maybe jungle, maybe CT, but all the way to short, probably not. And there's another tag. Look at the impact from ZywOo now.
Yeah, and the problem is they can't really face CT spawn either. There's 2 people waiting there. Nice little spray from JKS to take down dupreeh. Spinx, oh, it's ZywOo from the other side. He's got 3 kills. And now he's coming for Nico as well. 1 versus 2 for Nico. He's going to get the head blown right off there. And now the question is, could Spinx find him? He's got the health advantage, but oh, nice right over the box. I was a little bit worried there for a second, but he's going to be able to do it. And Vitality answer back swiftly.
Well, we're going to be knee-deep in the force buy wars here. The fact of that is G2, they still get 4 kills. The bomb goes down. They're going to have enough money to force buy in with something of their own. Spinx will get the defuse. We'll maintain that AK-47. Everybody else on Vitality will be able to buy. But the story about this one has to be ZywOo. The first one onto Modesty, that's a screamer. That's fantastic work. The second, not worried about the flames, re-peeking, using it to his favor. And then at this point, G2 are left scrambling. They don't have territory. ZywOo is such an issue with the scout. The reposition is fantastic. You have to highlight that. He doesn't just stay pinned to one spot. So the buy is coming back in. Nico can afford an AK, but with Kevlar. So that is going to be a factor here, namely up against the M4s and the MP9. Tech 9s, Deagles, util as well. And this time, back over towards B. So a change up again here from G2 in their affectionate bomb site.
It's a bit early, but sometimes when we get these continuous force buys at the start of a map, it could be a really grueling match for both teams if you just keep on struggling for the economy. Right now we're in the 3rd round, but keep an eye on it. If it keeps going back and forth, if Vitality lose this round and they decide to force, who knows what could happen.
There's no molly available on B to slow them down when they execute here. So they won't have to run through flames. They don't have to extinguish. They can get their smokes out and go. And you can see them biding the time right now. The rotation points will be ZywOo and Spinx, but dupreeh and Apex, they're not overextending to catwalk. They're both totaled up in B. Looking good for this hold.
And just the 1 HE grenade as well, so not going to be that much of a slowdown. He's not even going to try and use it here. HooXi already tagged up, trying to get down to low ground with the Tech 9, and he just runs him down. dupreeh, he's going to go as well. 3-man entry onto the B-bombs, and an instant save for Vitality. They didn't even try and get close to it, so That was about perfect.
I'm curious as to what the change-up was there, because you could see them, they were postured waiting, and then it looked like HooXi said, hold up, let's take some contact first. Let's force them out of position, and then we'll execute, because it looked like they were going to execute dry without any info. Rounding that corner can be very dangerous. If you round, you lose that first player, then everybody gets stalled in the bottleneck. They took a peek with that AK, and then they executed behind it. So G2 will strike back immediately. Vitality looking to save.
Talk to me a little bit about what is the protocol for Apex? He is jump spotting this position. So when he makes the jump and he says, okay, they're coming, what is he meant to do in that? What is the best thing that he could do in that position? He runs into the bomb site and tries to take a little bit of a fight, but do you have a set protocol that sort of says?
I would say in this situation here, because there's so many bodies already rotating in, it's just to set up with a crossfire with his teammates, work out where they're leaking from. All right, they can jump out the window and come out balcony, but which one is Apex tasked with holding? Because that rotation from ZywOo was really quick. I think he was the first player to die on the site. Yeah. Now, if Apex was alone, we saw from HooXi last night the way he did it, he would just jump, 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 drop a smoke and delay. Well, because Apex had teammates, it's about fighting and actually locking them down before they can get too far into the site. They just got overrun and were caught off by that timing. So that is I want to say that the jarring timing that G2 ran, that was the thing that caused them to win the round and caused Vitality to scratch their head. And HooXi's scratching his right now. He's lost it. Magisk has found the opening here. They have force bought back in.
I'm a huge fan of this. I don't say you don't have to do this, but if you have this limited weaponry, going on the hunt is amazing. ZywOo's going to find a headshot on Nico. They're proactive with the few weapons that they have. They're not just waiting around for G2 to actually come to them.
And that's the problem here, because if you're Vitality, you're going to watch the demos. You know that Nico lurks over towards the B apartments, JKS over towards A ramp and the A apartments. You have HooXi. He will be top mid traditionally with m0NESY, and then Hunter plays through the underpass. And, well, they can dot together the rest of this setup now. So, again, the proactive play that you mentioned, Magisk and Spinx pushing all the way up on the A ramp. They can confirm that nobody's home. JKS has had to hightail it back towards B. m0NESY does have a bit of room to work with now. He could be the unknown factor that slipped the net here as they clamp down on a B split. ZywOo's rotated over, Apex and Dupree on the site. So a 3v3 essentially.
Still 40 seconds here. Molotov's not really going to do too much. It'll clear out that truck just to make sure that no one is there. He'll dodge the flash, no problem, and tags up Hunter. And even that is enough for the HE to take him down. So everything is slotting right into place for Vitality in this round. Every little tag, every little headshot. m0NESY, as you said, slipped the net, but only for a while. Dupree's going to be able to catch him. JKS is now on his own. And best he could do is probably get a kill on the bomb plant right now. Even that seems highly unlikely. He's going to find that one on Dupree, but he's only down to 20 health. So I don't know what you do from this point on. He tries to fake it, hoping that someone's going to come. That's a nice idea. Had the right call there, but just couldn't find the headshot. And Magisk will bring him down. So Vitality, they're loving life. They do the counterforce, and they actually deny the bomb plant.
Yeah, so we're going to continue in the force by wars here. I assume Hunter has 4K, HooXi with 4.3, m0NESY with 3.7. They can all get at AK. So this is looking good if G2 want to continue down this rabbit hole. But taking a timeout to discuss their options is actually Vitality here, which is curious. This is the ZywOo shot. You can see him getting boosted up with his elevated position. And oh dear. Okay. Yeah, flicks up into the head of Nico there. So that's a beautiful one. And then Apex, fortunate that the tag comes through. He'll make good on ZywOo's hard work. And they will be buying. So this timeout is also giving G2 a chance to discuss how they want to proceed into round number 5. But this could continue to go tit for tat and back and forth, especially if G2 keep getting into the sites and getting the bomb down. I think even if they get into a site now, let's say they kill 3 to 4 players and they still lose the round, there could be a conversation to be had that, hey, the CT economy is not great here. Maybe we buy again. But we'll have to wait and see.
Keep it going. Yeah, why not? It's only really when you eventually concede and go back to the Glocks that you order USBs, if it's on the other side, that you actually feel like, okay, we've really lost it. We've really given up the early fight. A chance there for a Deagle, but very slim one. But a little bit of mid-control. HooXi sneaking in with that AK. Let's see if anyone's going to get caught off guard.
The CT setup right now has a bit of a gap. The issue for Spinx is he will have to worry about window at some juncture here as well. So Dupree might have to linger a little bit more forward on Catwalk to try and set up a crossfire because ZywOo is actually bunkering down over towards the A side with Magisk. I think they're expecting an A play right now, and currently that's not the case. Oof. Nico does spot Apex jumping there. So still posturing and prodding over towards mid and B.
Don't do it, Apex. Just... You know there's a good chance that Deagle belongs to Nico, and you should have learned through all this time. It's not worth it.
Look at all the room they have, Anders. They're going to do a B split right now. m0NESY is going to have to drop back. That's a huge shot. Now Short can activate. Dupree's next. They've spotted him out. Just need to make the kill, and they do. Sharp from HooXi as well. And they're in. Might have to be a Vitality save.
Yeah, they're already calling it off. Just, I mean, didn't even have to fight for the bomb site itself. They just took down the perimeter and that was it.
That was the issue with the setup they had, right? I mentioned that they didn't really have a whole lot of information with middle, so window was always going to be a drama right there. And then as soon as G2 were able to quietly get that catwalk control in the vent room, there's so much pressure applied and Vitality don't even know it. So m0NESY is lucky to get that opening kill and then the dominoes fall into place. And we continue in this back and forth nature. 5 rounds of play, nobody with consecutive rounds at this juncture, and this is what we were hoping to be delivered here this evening. What a beauty this is. He didn't want to go for that angle, but was forced into it and hits a tidy one. He was very sharp last night on the rifles against Na'Vi in lieu of the AWP. A factor, a massive factor in G2 getting across the line.
I feel like this is, you know, the investment that you have, the emotional investment you have from both teams when you keep fighting to get control of the economy like this. Maybe not right at the start, because everyone's probably feeling super fresh right now. But get into late stage of the first map, second map, it goes to the third map. That's when, you know, it becomes a really long battle. And these kind of drawn out rounds, they can really tear a team down, I feel like.
Yeah, to build on that, there hasn't been an easy round, right? You haven't had a round where it's a bit more relaxing. We're just against the Glocks. We just want to deny a kill or a plant. These have all had to be rounds that they had to think very deeply. And because of, well, the bonus that's been built up for Vitality, they can drop 2 rifles. And I guess this is our first full buy, even though there's a bit of an omission with Hooksy on the poor MP9, but back and forth. Now we go back to A. So we're really pressuring both these bomb sites. It hasn't been a lot of mid-focus from G2, other than maybe a little bit of a walk, a saunter to grab some slight map control. This will just be an A play here, Anders. And now, Vitality, because of the consequences of the previous round, have to worry about mid. They have 3 players, ZywOo, Spinx, and Dupree, ready to crossfire mid, with Magisk kind of on his own. ZywOo can chip in, sure, but he might get overrun.
Yeah, they've been slightly pushed towards this B bomb site. And a great read coming out right now from G2. They have the right idea. All the smokes are airborne, and they're going to go for it. Way before the minute mark, they're ready to try and see if they can take a little bit of control. Magus down here alone, and flashbangs, Molotovs everywhere. And Nico is right on top to control him. He has the right idea. He almost dropped ZywOo, even without seeing him. That's beautiful. He's going to have to back away. There could be another nade coming, so at least some bomb site control for G2 at the moment, and more grenades raining in. This is great.
It's beautiful. That second wave of util, the deeper smoke to connector, followed by the molly, the space taken by Hooksy. Picture perfect Counter-Strike right there. That is tidy stuff from G2 within the early stages. And they'll be the first team to string 2 rounds consecutively together here. And that's going to force Vitality into another save.
Really small detail perhaps to keep a note of, but obviously Nico, first on the bomb side, takes the fight to Magus. He keeps going and he fires a couple of shots obviously towards the stairwell, but he actually keeps moving forward deeper and deeper into the bomb site, because the deeper he can get, obviously, the more his teammates can scale up behind him. Otherwise, if he just stands there and it's like, oh, I'm looking for side, I'm going to stand still for a long time, well, that creates a lot of space for the CTs to play around all of a sudden.
That's a huge kill. The second. Hooksy!
It's on the tail end.
That is massive. That is massive work right there. That means so much for this next round of play. They would have had 4 rifles, Anders. Now they're just going to have to stick with these 2. It's unlikely to see them upgrade behind it. That round right there, right, as much as it was 2 consecutive, now Hooksy's made it worth 3.
You know, I was going to bring up something else that's not even close to possible right now for Vitality, but if they're having trouble with Apex over in this hallway, something else they could have done and maybe is get an AWP into pre later on.
Definitely.
But obviously without the money, that's not even going to be possible.
Yeah, once the economy gets established, take ZywOo over there with an orb. Yeah, go for a secondary orb if you want. Oh, get melted by a molly. They will have to extinguish, and they've given up the ruse that they are in the underpass at nade forward. Spinx goes down, so dealing with them one at a time here. But you're right, I think once the economy gets going, we'll start to see a better showing from Vitality on the CT side, because ZywOo, just the other day, he was an absolute monster, right? Just roaming around with that AWP. He was mauling. Can't wait to get that back in action.
Yeah, luxury right now for G2, if you think about it that way, that they don't have to face up against that. And at least 1 or 2 of the rounds that we've seen so far, you mentioned it earlier, how no Molotovs inside of the B-bombs. I like that.
I love that. I love it.
Best.
You were fan of the teabagging or the body spamming?
I'm more of an old squad. You know, I'm a boomer, so the teabagging is the way to go.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
I feel like.
I noticed as well because back in the day we would say GLHF. They've dropped the GL. That's the move, guys. Don't wish your opponents good luck, but tell them to have fun as you're smashing them. That's the way you should go about things. And now, maybe a default round here. Flashed out, m0NESY's AWP rings through, and they're pushing.
Everyone's flashed, though. Magus gets his eyes back a little bit sooner. Spinx is in there. Need to say his name more as well. He's pushing up behind, and it's perfect. Nice double with a little bit of backup assistance at range there from Dupree to help him out. Nico on his own, and he can't get the job done either. They'll pick up the AWP on Spinx there in the middle, so that's a huge swing back for Vitality. They desperately needed this round.
Yeah, 2 more of those required here to really break the bank balance of G2. They've been able to establish a nice little nest egg, something for retirement here. Everybody has, well, about 3K plus, other than Hooksy, who did facilitate the AWP drop for m0NESY. But this was a great mid-push, and both teams decided, hey, look, there is a change-up coming. Wanted to both set the tone, and there was the car crash in top mid. But we're back underway with both AWPs on both sides. So let's see how this affects the strategies.
Oh, they're trying for it again. That's a lot of mid-aggression. I mean, it's worked once, so maybe they're just not expecting it to come a second time, but Hooksy certainly is. Look at who's trying to create all the pressure. Nico, I don't think they're going to know. Surely you wouldn't expect this. Apex is looking the wrong way. He's going to go down practically for free. What a bold play for Nico. He just won the B bomb site on his own, and now a huge challenge to Vitality. Do they want to go for this?
This is the thing. Nico just needs to stay alive. They can actually execute with Nico in the site. They can wait for the smokes are up. Hunter's actually stepped ahead of the U2. You can see it being deployed now and landing. Another nade down the back pocket, and Spinx is forward of this. Flashed up. m0NESY will deal with him, and now they're in.
A little bit scary when Hunter gets picked off, but they have so much control. More smokes landing towards the market, and already Vitality starting to exit, so that's just pure timing. What a beautiful play.
Just a note from that interview with Hooksy mentioning how about the freedom that this team hasn't had. Well, he's giving it to them, and you just saw that freedom right there.
Right.
Nico goes, hey, so their in-game leader, their weakest fragger, I'm going to go over to his bomb site, and I'm just going to one-on-one him. So you guys can keep mid busy, you know, make sure that they can't just get all the information. Hooksy was jiggle peek and make sure they couldn't push up all the way. And guess what? Nico walks in, blasts his head off, site's given up.
It's fantastic. Apex right now is 2 and 8, and it's not to put too much focus on that, but obviously if you're the enemy team, if you feel like he's having a slightly slow start to this one, yeah, you're going to try and really hit that nail on the head every time.
I'm sure it'll be a pressure point once we get into the second half as well for G2. Hooksy plays that bomb site. If you have Vitality, similar scenes, it's right. If we can ever isolate one player on the site and send our best player after him, yeah, go for it.
I'll tell you what my favorite BM move is for anyone that wants to learn on that side.
Okay.
I feel like you need to wait until you've had like a really tough game that could have gone either way, like preferably if it's overtime or something like that, and you just drop the easy afterwards.
Okay.
Like that always stings a lot. It makes people real angry.
You see the Cadian one? He said, guys, press tab. He threw that one at them at one point in a match, I think, a bit earlier on.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, a little bit of banter never goes amiss. And
Nice.
we're into round number 10, so a bit of a slower start in this one. Not the direct mash up in middle. I just go over towards Aeoni's Lonesome. Actually, right now, Apex is holding some util to try and facilitate this mid peak. So I'll flash over. Dupree swings out late. You're going to try and clamp back this control. And you mentioned the AWP over towards B. Well, they did task ZywOo with taking the fight against Nico over there. But m0NESY also is trained and at the ready.
That AWP on ZywOo, we've been talking about it. We saw a little bit with the scout, but this is a different beast now. And he is in position. It allows them 4 people at the A bomb site, man. But on the other hand,
he's going to have to go nuclear right now. They're going to execute on him. He is going to have to go ZywOo mode.
surely they're going to be layering flashbangs on top of this, right? How is he ever going to get vision to try and do this? We'll find out right now. They're not slowing it down, and he's going to call it. Yep, I'm in trouble. There's one flashbang. More are certainly raining in. Smokes all around, and Hooksy on that deep swing into the bomb side, and he takes the head off Dupree, and that's another save for Vitality before the round. They can't even fight for it.
Yeah,
it's done.
Hooksy's got the Midas touch right now. Everything he calls turns to gold, right? The fact that every single time Vitality seem like they're out of position, you mentioned the stack over towards A right there for Vitality. Well, they're getting out-called here. They're not preempting the plays that are coming their way, and G2 in the early stages of this game have already found themselves with this type of a lead. It's about to be 7-3.
But you see, I mean, I had the same experience earlier when watching Apex over at this bomb site. Utility starts to come in. ZywOo, he's got a rifle out, then he pulls out a smoke because he was thinking about the Molotov, and there's no really decisive decision. There's no, oh, I know what to do. I'm either going to fight or I'm going to fall back. Like, there seems to be just a moment. It's not a lot, but a second is a real long time in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, enough to cost him. And I think that the orb, even though it's ZywOo's signature weapon, could be... Oh, they're not going to get any more on the way out the door, but a great round for Hooksy. The issue is there, because he's the only one on the site, nobody can draw any attention for him. So in that situation, there's no rotation possible. The scaling of this is key. Hooksy jumps out the window and then runs straight past those two pillars to close down the distance, because they're either going to throw that smoke or the one closer to the van, and then they're going to play bench, jail, whatever you want to call it, or they're going to try and dip on back and get to market. But either way, that positioning, the flight paths that HooXi run right there allow nobody to get away and force a second timeout for Vitality early on in this first map of play. We have Inferno next, which the Dex brought up as a bit of a curveball. And I think the reason for that is because G2 have looked so good on that map. And look at this man on your screen right here in the picture-in-picture, Xtaz. I'm sure he's more than happy with how things are going against his former team. I'm sure every time he gets to go up against them and they're ahead, a little smile must creep onto his face.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, this is a good time to be a coach in the background. You're just watching and it's like, yeah, all the planning that we did before we got into the server, it is paying off right now. 7-3 in favor of G2. Opening map here, trying to claim a spot in the grand final of ESL Pro League Season 16. What an achievement that would be for G2 if they could do that with a fresh in-game leader. Probably definitely the most difficult role to have to switch out. Oh. And they nuclear bomb Nico down below. Hunter, surprised he didn't take more damage as well. Yeah,
that was a nice little move there, right? Knowing the default spread, the timing that they like to come up through underpass, maybe a sound cue or two, and what is that, Apex? Okay, well, that's a little bit silly, but getting some revenge here. Dupree is going to grab JKS, and this round is looking great for Vitality. Some nades, a jumping shot, and then an easy kill.
It had to be Apex doing it, didn't it? Just had to be. Good sneak in. m0NESY worried about something else at that point in time, and HooXi 1 versus 5 here. Could still do some damage, which would be really great, but Apex is going to find him. What a round from him. Triple. He needs the kills.
Yeah, look, nobody is really separating themselves from the pack on either side. It is Nico topping the scoreboard right now with a total of 9 kills. Then it's HooXi with 7, and then ZywOo with 6. So because of the saving nature, and I know you experienced this with the Outsiders game the other day, there hasn't been a whole lot of kills right now. A little bit more action in that Outsiders Dust 2 matchup, but
I've been.
Yeah, definitely Vitality holding onto their rifles, taking them home, wanting to play another day. They don't want to share. But a great little round there. And there's the fan cams. If you want to join, esl.gg/fancam. Join all the fun as Hunter is getting into the fun. Already close towards connector here. This is a change-up.
Guy had Iron Maiden in the background. It's the official Counter-Strike band.
Respect.
Fear of the Dark. Classic, obviously.
The kids these days, Anders, won't know how good the music was in the Frag movies once upon a time.
No, it's true. We have too many lawyers now. Round number 12, and it is a 3-round gap. There is still a chance here for Vitality to turn this first half around, maybe get a little bit more going. They do have that AWP back in the hands of ZywOo, so excited to see where that's going to be going. We still haven't had to call out his name too much. That scout's been doing a lot of work, but last time he got run down in the B bomb site. And this time, well, he's still back there.
I like this. JKS throws the flash and it actually alerts Magisk and Spinx to start looking forward, because when you know that there's one player defaulting, if you've established this as a default round, you might be able to isolate JKS in Palace or the A ramp, and they haven't found him in either position. So this information works. Ooh, great guns. Apex knows it's likely middle, and the B players currently, ZywOo and Dupree, should have a good idea it's coming in to be a split.
I think Apex has done more damage either jumping or shooting through smoke than he has fighting anyone straight up, so keep doing that. If it works, double setup in here, 30 seconds. They want to try and see if they could go back, but this time, ZywOo's not flash, no Molotov at his feet. He's loving this position right now. And Dupree's up there to bodyguard him, almost gets that flick, but they're running out of time on the G2 side. And now with the bomb dropped as well, that is a little bit of a problem for the T side. m0NESY and JKS 2 versus 4, and they can't make it back into this round. JKS is too far away. Magisk is going to be able to find him on a nice little flank. And Vitality, they're starting to wake up. They don't want to relinquish this first half quite yet.
Yeah, great little info play over there towards A. And having ZywOo in that bench position to deal with that split is almost perfect, right? Unless it is a load of util coming through the B apartments, he's going to get this one every day of the week. So clear sightlines there onto HooXi, drops him. Nico Shaw gets a kill on the way out, but there's just too many bodies to deal with. And a timeout to be called now, the first from G2. There is enough money to constitute a buy. Nico can drop a gun for his cousin Hunter. And I'm sure that they've got the watch party down there in Serbia again. I don't know if you caught that yesterday, but there's a cinema full of Serbian Counter-Strike fans put on by Relog currently watching the matches. It was bonkers. They were loving it.
I've actually always wanted to try and do a broadcast like that. Well, we're actually casting in front of a crowd like that, like a really tiny, but like where there's the roof is like right above your head, and it's like there's I imagine there's gonna be like a bar or something. Get like 100 people in the
rowdy
bar
atmosphere
and do a broadcast. I think it'd be sick. So
maybe we can fly out there to the cinema.
I was gonna say it'd especially be sick if it was in Serbia, no doubt. Here we go, 13th round. Not a lot of, well, actually a little bit more than I was expecting. Not a lot of money on the G2 side, though.
No, but
Vitality is doing good.
Right now, they've feigned this mid control like it's a default with the standard like top mid smoke. They've smoked off window as well. And Modesty, when he fires the AWP, it'll make it seem like it's a default. Why would the AWPer be on his own in mid? They're about to pounce out A, so Spinx and Magis, they need to be ready.
Yes, they do. And especially Spinx is in a tough position here. If Magus can't help him out from way behind, he's going to be spinning around, worrying about that ramp behind him, or he's going to have to climb back down. But very likely, that position down in shadow is going to be Molotoved underneath him, so could be a real tough position to be in. And they're going to move forward slowly, crouching just a bit to try and keep his aim fresh so he doesn't go completely cold on that corner. He's been standing still a lot there. They do also have dupreeh not that far away in jungle, so there could be some help maybe. There's the first jump and a nice headshot for Spinx. He's down below, yep, into the Molotov. He has to escape, unfortunately, so Hunter's going to be able to catch him. Good trade, and back into a 4-on-4. 40 seconds still left, and the full rotation's almost in already. Only really ZywOo is kind of keeping a look at the B hallways. Bomb has been found, so now they can bring everyone over. Monacy will get a flick on Magus, and that's a good start, but they're running out of players here on the T side, and also running out of time swiftly. Hunter and Monacy alone, 2 versus 3, and Vitality, they're still on the bomb side. They haven't given it up. Monacy, that's a nice shot, close range, but he is out of time and out of space. ZywOo will take him down. And it's Vitality. Few steps back into the game. They're at 7-6 now.
Yeah, 3 consecutive rounds for them now. And this is the longest streak they've had. Actually, the first streak of rounds they've had. And it's going to force another timeout here for G2. And that's the first round where it hasn't looked like they've been all on the same page. Monacy went out early mid, didn't find anything, wasn't able to puff up his chest and seem bigger than he was. And then they couldn't find the timings out towards that A site. Their JKS jumps forward, Spinx slaps him away, says, get out of my sight. And then from there, the kills keep coming. All right, so not too happy with that one. I don't think they were expecting so many bodies on the site, especially with those type of reactions that we just saw. So maybe not the call that Hooksy and co were looking for.
It felt like the kind of hit what they had already pre-planned to not just, you know, earlier we saw Nico scaling really rapidly into the A-bomb, so it didn't seem like that's even what they wanted to do. They wanted to take a fight, let Vitality, you know, come peak, and then shut him down, and then keep going. Like, this was a little bit more, you know, like in stages, they had like a little bit of a slowdown in the middle of it.
I think it was bad info, and not Monacy's fault, but the fact he didn't have any resistance in middle, right? So they go, okay, well, if there's no resistance in middle, what setup are they running? Maybe they have 2 players short, right? Because he didn't investigate short. He only really looked con before he dropped back. So they were hedging on what setup they thought it was. And I don't think they were expecting A to be so heavily fortified, especially that close up. That right there caught him off guard.
Apex back in the B bomb site, so surely they're not going to hit him right away. Ooh, Spinx just pistols on the other side. Might be a chance here. He's missing a couple of bullets. JKS will take him down. That's a nice deagle shot. He wants to do more because he just got the call that someone was in lower dark, but unfortunately, or in underpass, I suppose. There's way too many people in there to try and hold on to it. So Hooksy now with a Glock. Gonna go and see if he can find something through the smoke. Probably gonna be Def that he's finding on the other side. 7-7, we're all tied up.
Yeah, really good comeback here from Vitality. I think if they're able to get this final round now, make it 5 on the trot, and in these 5, there hasn't been a plan. Well, in the 4, there hasn't been a plan. If they can stomp it in this round as well, that'd be a great little boost of confidence going into that 2-minute halftime break, because it was looking very shaky early on. Felt like G2 were calling circles around them, but there's been a real shift, and this is great guns now for Vitality here.
Round number 15. Let's just see what can happen. Real tight game that we started out being close with back and forth rounds, and it's ending in a very similar fashion here, which is beautiful. Molotov and HG down into connector, but nobody is there, and it looks like they're going to try and see if they can punch out Apex one more time.
Yeah, just highlighting there in middle, a smoke that's been dropped. They like to deploy that one from spawn. It drops under the window, and Magis can get there and jump on top of that little bolster and gets a one-way over the top of it. And that's how they're establishing this mid control right now. So as the smoke's coming through, Magis is going to have to drop on down, maybe even fight here. He nades forward, ZywOo takes a shot, but Magis gets the kill. So a great little bait and switch. The hit B.
He's been boosted up into the corner. That's really hard to check. Yep, they're not going to see it. Hooksy, he was hunting for the second player in Apex, so free kill for dupreeh, and he's going to keep going, taking down JKS, and this seems like it is almost already locked down. Monacy trying to fight it back, and him and Nico, they have a little bit of time. That's about the only positive thing we can really say at the moment.
Yeah, this is going to be a difficult one to win because they don't have any real estate to work with here. Fortunately for Nico, he has a lot of room under window, but he doesn't know that. You can see him worried about players above him short. That means he's going to have to worry about top mid, connector, especially because Magis got that kill for free at top mid against Hunter. So right now, there's so many question marks, but they will have to make broad assumptions soon. They don't have enough time to clear all the corners, but connected to A, that's the play, and 180 degrees with Spinx and Magis separated, Ticket Booth and Palace respectively.
You got to respect the discipline out of Vitality here in being so far away from any fights. They are making absolutely sure that this is not going to turn into an easy 2-on-3 or 2-on-2 by someone just, you know, fighting in middle or anything. They're really staying far away. Down to 15 seconds, so some point soon, you just have to run on there and try and plant the bomb. And as you pointed out, you're covered 180 degrees, so going to be real tricky to do that. Nico getting shut down, and time has run out. Spinx with the headshot, 8-7 in favor of Vitality. They made the comeback happen, and they end up with a 1-round lead. That's pretty impressive. We'll see if it's going to be enough. The second half is coming up right after this.
Here with the man, the myth, the legend, Apex. We're gonna play a game. First of all, how have you been? You good?
Good, thank you.
Nice. Okay, we're gonna play What Did I Tweet? That's the game we're playing.
I remember.
This is a wonderful picture.
Yeah.
I remember this a lot. This made it to the front page of the Photoshop Battle subreddit.
Yeah.
This one went everywhere. This one was an ancient Roman artwork. It was in a French bakery. It was in a pizza restaurant. It was all over the place.
Yeah, I remember that one. I remember I was in Bucharest. I remember so well for the major qualifier. Everyone posted it with a new thing and a new thing, and I was like all on my timeline.
And this was obviously around the conversation, I believe, when like people like all of Navi would have like AKs and he would have the Deagle. Yeah, and that whole controversy.
Yeah. Well, it was before I played with ZywOo, I guess. But no, it's exactly what I'm doing. So if I see as a Tech 9 and I have an AK, I'm saying, no way, take this.
I think Valorant players at Champions should be a bit more far away from each other.
That's just sarcastic. I remember the table were like 4 meters.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly. So to check each other, they were like, wait.
Walk across the room.
Exactly. So that's why I said I was really sarcastic. But I had to say it. Like the table were too big. Yeah, exactly.
Another one. Device tweets, I was born to make mistakes, not to fake perfection. And you say, I was born to mold.
Everyone called me a mold pix, so I just made a joke about that, and I think that...
Were you molding it back then a lot, back in 2021?
I mean, forever I've been molding, I guess. So.
Oh, you went for a Moses haircut, like you were getting there. You were testing it out.
Schofield, you know, I look like...
Michael Schofield from Prison Break.
The COVID started, I had to stay home, no way to get...
Oh, the haircut craze, yeah.
So I was like, okay, and we did that with the whole team. I think APK did it, I did it, ZywOo did it, Shox did it.
Well, you've grown your hair out, so you obviously didn't like it all that much?
Well...
It's not liberating? You feel the feel of air on your...
That was the first time I could see... Yeah, exactly, that was the first time I could see my own bald head. Sometimes it's really like nice when you go out from the shower.
Yeah. You're done.
So, yeah,
you start your day.
Exactly. You don't have nothing to do, so some moments were perfect.
We're back once again. Second half is coming up. We are on the opening map of the last semi-final. A spot in the grand final is what is on the line. It's Vitality versus G2, and they cut that first half right down the middle. This is great counter-strike that we saw on all fronts.
Yeah, really good stuff. The early stages, I think, were dominated by G2, but then Vitality, they didn't overreact, right? They were able to just stick into the game. Here you can see some great reactions there from Apex. They kept themselves in it, and then they were able to break the economy of G2 and buy themselves a 5-round streak into halftime. Now, confidence has to be at an all-time high right now, so let's see if we can split the pistol rounds. Remember, it was the force by wars very early in this matchup that felt like they were never going to end. 1x bet odds are favoring G2 here.
Going to be probably JKS and Monacy to defend this bomb site, at least initially, although Hunter on a mission, and the bomb is quite far away. If he finds this somehow, that'd be real interesting. He's going to spot it out, so Wonder if that'll make Vitality change their minds. That's a bit awkward when you get spotted that deep in.
Yeah, and that setup that you pointed out towards A, m0NESY's not really contributing right now. He's quite hidden over towards jungle. JKS, he's spotting out from Ticket. But when this execute comes in, his job is just going to be about defending CT spawn, making sure they don't get that control. So you two up and over. JKS peeks on out and confirm they're coming his way.
You would love a headshot before they get close. There is also a late flank possible from Spinx. He's all the way over on the other side, but timing is going to be hard to hit. Yeah, he's still sneaking in. The bomb is being planted, and with the bomb plant, Spinx's position just probably tripled in value because now most of the G2 squad, they're going to be looking and focusing on this A bomb side and probably will not check behind them. A little bit of a jump into the window. Oh, it's a mid-air headshot. m0NESY, he actually hit that one. Unbelievable, but it's still 4-on-4. ZywOo's back with the P250, and Spinx, he just wants anything right now. He could have stuck around for a kill, but obviously couldn't know that. And Hunter's going to be finding ZywOo, so right back into a 3 versus 3. Smoke up on the bomb, but did they actually find it here? They have a kid on HooXi. It's possible. He's already on it. Spinx looking and finding it as well. Oh, long flank for that triple, but he made it work.
And that's it. That's the two superstars right now. Vitality picking up the pistol. ZywOo on a P250 on Mirage. Well, we know how well that goes. And then Spinx with the clutch there in the final moments. HooXi, all we can do is try and sit that defuse. Doesn't have the time, doesn't have the options. And it was a great little chance here from Hunter to get back into the site, but they weren't expecting this. Comes on through, blindsides them massively, and secures the round. And seeing ZywOo getting fired up like that, that tells you that there's a lot on the line here. As the Force by Wars, well, they're going to get underway here in the second half as well. Nico into an M4. That means he's going to have a lot of work to do. Flash forward by JKS to facilitate that fight. But they're about to barrel in towards his bomb site.
5-7 in hand, and it's in a powerful position. We've seen sort of multi-headshots from this exact angle with the 5-7, so got to be a little bit careful. They do have some Molotovs to try and make sure that at least he's going to be forced out into the fight probably and can't just escape and stay at a distance. Yeah, already a Molotov up there, but he's actually found an edge right near the smoke. That's interesting. So somehow still alive. He's been tagged up and they're going to call it in. So nice little find for ZywOo, and that's going to at least clear some space here for the bomb plant, or it should. Hunter looking for something, a little bit of a ticket booth jump, but he fails it, so he's going to be heard, and they're on that bomb plant now. That's probably everything they needed, although hold the phone.
Yeah, this M4's still in play. The pistols need to find more information allowed. Oh, jeez, Nico to strike. ZywOo, that is massive. That is massive, and now he's barreling down on Nico's position. I think this one's done. Nico will grab another, sure, but the number advantage, the weapon advantage, the bomb down, almost halfway gone. G2 have to hightail it out of this one. Hunter and m0NESY trying to save the deagles and the armor for m0NESY, but ZywOo won't allow it. He wants to get stuck in for more and dropped another. Looking clinical now is the Woo.
It's a free fire it anyway. Quad kill. And there are some games where it just feels like ZywOo's he's just not in the mood to lose the game.
What did the desk say? The best player at EPL at the moment, and it's definitely showing in the server right now. So he's looking very sharp. Very sharp indeed. Any player that's hitting a jumping shot like this one, I'm sure, yep, that one right there is on it. I think that was the tennis balls. That right there was the if you practice the tennis balls, everybody at home, you're going to be able to get away with that. Apex over HooXi, come on now. Tennis you might balls. Be a Vitality. You put ZywOo over HooXi, I'll allow that. But Apex over it's HooXi's world.
That is true. Can't argue with that, can we? Tennis balls about to be sold out in all your local stores. ZywOo's out there. This is easy. Just the pistols here in this round. To match this energy, he's 17-6 right now. Historically, you would pick Nico, but they have m0NESY as well.
Yes.
But it surely's got to be one of those two.
Yeah, and it's going to be curious as well what type of sites they decide to hit here, because JKS is the A anchor. He's currently only on 5 kills. HooXi is the B anchor. He's on 7 kills. m0NESY has 9. Hunter with 10, Nico at the top with 12. That's the trio, the last 3 that I mentioned, that will be clamping down on mid, right? You're going to be having Hunter playing from short, Nico getting flashed through the connector smokes, and then m0NESY, well, he'll either be playing in window, jumping out, jumping up to the vent room, playing connector. He'll be everywhere with that AWP, which he does have equipped now. But a worrying sign, there's only 1 set of head armor, that's for HooXi, and Apex has a Mac 10, so he's going to be able to shred heads, and I'm sure they might want to set him up as the tip of the spear for an execute here.
G2 on that T side had a fair bit of success trying to beat up. It was Apex in the B bomb side, anchoring that one, but Vitality might have been inspired to try and do something similar this time, throwing Apex in there. And you even pointed it out in the first half, you know, maybe try and see if you can find HooXi. If he's going to be the weak link, maybe you can do the same thing and just exploit the fact that he's going to be there. m0NESY unsmoked in the window. That's dangerous, and Meg is there to catch him. Great opening on Nico.
That all came down to the timing of that connector re-smoke. Oh, and the tag through, right? That connector re-smoke is why Nico came back out, but Magisk was already ahead of it. So a good heads-up play there from the Dane to give them the opener, and now they can clamp down for this mid to B.
Yes, they can. Hooksy playing deep in the corner, so he can't escape, and he's going to be found. That is a lightning fast shot coming up from Dupree. Hunter, this seems like madness. Walking into the site on his own like that. I don't think did he realize? Yes, now he does. And he actually comes up with the kill. That's a little bit surprising. Shot right through, and it takes down Dupree. Oh, that grenade gave him away. That was all he needed to triangulate that position. Now 2 versus 2. The bomb is swiftly planted.
It's not a short plant. Spinx is, sorry, Magic's going to have to activate. Spinx is kind of on his own during all of this, but JCast has found a kit in the meantime. So there's a chance for G2 in this one.
It definitely is. No grenades though on the CT side, so they're gonna have to get the kill and get on that defuse really fast. Magus doesn't want to let anyone past. Great spray at distance, and I think m0NESY, realistically, even if they're running out of rounds here, needs to back on up with this AWP. I don't think this can be done any longer. And they'll make the escape, so 12-7. They already can't even escape with the AWP. Oh, that's a disaster. But a nice lead, 5-round lead for Vitality.
Really, really nice round there from Vitality, and it's all about the details there. You can see the understanding of the type of plan it was from Magisk. He knows that he has to sit there and take the initial fight. He has to activate first, because if they get across to the site and they deal with Spinx, they can likely defuse right in front of his eyes. Hunter made this one possible, so these 2 kills lured them into going for the retake. Well, I think this 3rd kill here was the real icing on top of the cake. But unfortunately, they lose the AWP on the way out, and that is a massive round. Nico extremely unhappy with how that one unfolded, and we're already back underway here, but it is just a partial buy for G2. Vitality have quite the commanding lead now.
Yes, they do. And especially, I mean, in terms of rounds, but the economy started to slide their way as well. G2 haven't been able to keep up the same kind of force buy rhythm. They haven't got close enough. They haven't done enough damage. So they're going to have to maybe bow out of this one a little bit. If you want some smokes, which doesn't seem like a big threat, but in the right round, if time is low enough, it could be fun.
I think G2 might be forgetting what winning feels like as well, because it was 5 rounds consecutively for Vitality into the half, and now it's 4 consecutively here in the second half. So you guys add those together, it's 9 in a row. Some of us can do maths live on air. I did have to double check, so didn't get the calculator out. But yeah, there has to be a shift in this, because ZywOo and Spinx have hit another gear. 19 now for ZywOo, Spinx up to 16. And the thing with Vitality is they are looking equally as calm in their play on the T side. Right, they're going through the paces, the default spread. They don't really feel like there's too many jarring situations. And the only way it'll get jarring is when individuals from G2 start getting opening picks or maybe multi-kills. And that's when things are going to start getting more difficult for Vitality. But so far, so good. Biggest issue in round number 20 is the time, 30 seconds.
You could really use a Nico 1 dig in this round, or maybe 2 or 3 of them. He's inside the smoke, waiting there right in front, and the spray does not work out. Apex takes him down. Shot in the back of the head, though. JKS showing up. That's interesting. Ooh, that's not bad. It could have been a kill on side. I don't know how he's still alive. He's even going to take down Hunter through his teammate. And now Hooksy on his own, hoping to do maybe a tiny bit more damage. He's looking to find ZywOo. He will at the very least do that, but it's a 13-7 scoreline, and it could have been much worse here for Vitality, but they control the situation.
Yeah, I think ZywOo's got that bloodlust right now. He's hitting that form that I think we know he can all hit, that elite level, that world #1 form. So good to see him. Top of the scoreboard, absolutely rocking this one. But this is where it has to change. If you're a G2 fan out there and you want this to be a competitive matchup, right now, when they get the defuse kits out, and I know I make that a key here, but if they lose a side, it's going to be a huge factor for them retaking AWP in the hands of m0NESY. Everywhere else with the rifles, full U2, and a pace change straight into A.
Oh, they're running for it. Yep, they're going to try and see if they can run them down, and it almost works perfectly. JKS with the double in return, but Spinx, as you said, he's all the way up there at 18 kills, and he will trade that one 3 versus 3. The bomb, a little bit delayed, but because they're so quick on the early one, they can afford to slow it down. No. I can't believe it takes the fight. Apex is nuts.
What an unorthodox kind of fight that was there from Apex, but a massive one indeed, and now Hooksy in a 1-on-3.
Why would he do that?
Look, it's an Apex move. He definitely plays outside of the box here. Hooksy up and over, can't even get one. Apex is even finding form now. 2 kills for him.
I think Apex knows where the box is.
Hey, look, he's just walking on water right now, having a great time. 14-7, and it makes sense to see the 3rd G2 timeout called right now. That round was meant to be the one to get them into the comeback. Nico doesn't get anything done there. JKS gets 2. He still gets overrun. m0NESY out of position with the swiftness. Here it was. That kill onto m0NESY. He's not going to be flicking up there. He wasn't ready for that at all. This kid's usually ready for everything.
Wow, Apex has come back in the game. Spinx had a very quiet start, and he's had sort of a quiet climb up the scoreboard as well. Not nearly as flashy as ZywOo that we've been watching a fair bit, but man, what an impact.
Kind of what he was known for in ENCE as well. You know, you look at the scoreboard at the end of the game, oh, a quiet 30 from Spinx. It's just another day at the office, right? Yeah. That's kind of what he did in ENCE, but he was always delivering those multi-kills, the key frags when the team needed it most. And will G2 know that they have to half invest? The loss bonus, yeah, of course it's maxed out. They haven't won a single round right now. This was a 7-3 scoreline at one point, and now the score is 14-7 in favor of Vitality. What a comeback.
They have completely taken over this game. G2 in shambles. They need to find something to bring them back. It's not even clear what it is right now.
I think it... Look, I don't want to just put it down to individuals because in certain positions they've been outplayed by nice little maneuvers or timings, but you do need someone to get creative, right? Here's the thing in Counter-Strike. We always talk about it's about minimizing the amount of mistakes, but people have to take risks to find the gaps, to find the holes, to get your way back in. And I don't want to say it's possible now for G2 on a lighter buy like this, but again, the setup, very passive across the map. Nobody in a bogey position. I would say maybe Nico over towards Palace looking for a fight against Magis could be the way to get the engine started on this one, but he's just walked away at the wrong time.
Yeah, somebody needs to be a playmaker. Open up one of these rounds, inspire the team just a tiny bit. Nico, there with the deagle. There's a tiny bit of damage, but not the one dig that we're looking for.
Here we go.
HG will get the job done, and with a shot on Apex, it's kind of working out now. They are very low on health on 3 out of 5 players there, so you want to be careful still. HooXi sneaking in, the timing is so good. Catching ZywOo, and now Mega's the only one with any real health left. G2, they might have found a lifeline somehow in the middle of all of this chaos. Apex, he's already out of the round. It's just Spinx and Megas left.
Look at this position. How they're meant to expect this. They have 3 different angles to worry about. Under the window, underpass, and on top of the fence. So it might just be making sure all the rifles can't be picked up. That would be the change of tone in the round for Vitality. Hey, just make sure they can't scoop up all the rifles. Ooh, JKS is going to take that Magis. Spinx has gotten 1, make that 2. Not enough time to find the final 2. It will expire, and they're going to look for the fight. Spinx will stay alive. Honestly, we'll walk away with an AK, and there's plenty of money for a buy. But with G2 converting that round, they would have loved to have picked up the free booty, right? The treasure on the grounds. But here, they're still going to have to get their own buy coming through. There's plenty of cash for Vitality to work with. So even though they lost that round, it's not the end of the world. It's a harsher round to lose because of the type of investment, but they're still sitting pretty with this massive lead.
Chad, it wouldn't be the first time that we've seen a map like this where a team goes on a massive losing streak, they win 1 round, and somehow just feels like that's it. Everything kind of works out again. Like it can happen.
Yeah,
G2 could have some sort of revival late, but they have to have it as well.
Consecutive rounds are essential as part of this, and I think the biggest is getting ahead of what type of plays Vitality are running, right? We saw in that first half, the Vitality towards the tail end were able to get ahead of what HooXi was calling. Well, right now, G2 have to do the same. They've gambled that it is going to be more of an A play, maybe an A split. Nico under the balcony, JKS tucks into default, m0NESY to address things from the ticket booth. So they have a massive gap this time round. We spoke about it in the first half, where Vitality played off of mid. It means that Window is extremely susceptible now. This B setup from HooXi and Hunter is extremely committed. The vent is broken, so Spinx will be able to flank between CT spawn A or B.
What a find. This is absolutely gold.
I have to know this is open. I don't know why they're not addressing this at all. Spinx has won the round.
Yeah, he has. All he has to do is not screw up this last part. Or there is a chance that he's going to walk into HooXi, who might actually be looking this way. Yeah, there's just a boot showing. Spinx walking up, and he sees it. Oh, misses the chance, but he'll take down Hunter. And there's HooXi. Nicely done. Double kill, and as you pointed out, that's the round 1.
I'm not sure what happened there, right? m0NESY is the only individual who was available to even be concerned with that window play, and they might lose it all here. Apex is the type of guy to call out the hunt, to let the dogs off the leash, and they're already starting to move. The bomb's been planted. Now they just have to comb through the map. Magis has them pinned here towards the A ramp.
Yeah, m0NESY trying to get that flick in, but this is a fight for survival at the moment. Nico going to be going down, no doubt upset. Molding and Malta, as we say. It's going to be Megas now trying to do a little bit more, shooting him in the kneecaps, and m0NESY, there's no escape. Oh, maybe there is, but he's going to be caught by a headshot from the Glock, and a 15th round for Vitality.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I'm excited to see the diagnosis from the desk of what G2 are getting up to here on the CT side. Now, sure, they haven't had a lot of gun round opportunities, but they don't look like they have much conviction behind what they're doing at the start of these rounds. They're the ones being dictated to. And on the CT side, sure, that tends to be how things go. But when there's a massive gap like this and Spinx is able to pip it, now putting himself up towards the top of the scoreboard. 24 for ZywOo, 23 for Spinx. These two are going monster mode. And on the other side, there's no response. We spoke about the individuals. Well, where's m0NESY? Where's Nico right now? Where's Hunter? Where is the trifecta for G2? Not online.
You're not getting any sense of the firepower that we know it's in the roster. We know that they could do it, but it's not showing up on the server, and that's obviously a huge deal. 15-8. They need 7 straight in a row to try and get this into overtime. It seems absolutely impossible at this junction.
Now they're clamping down on mid here. This is a call that HooXi likes to make, where he brings everybody from all sides to fight mid, and everybody's close.
Thanks. Sees the opportunity. Gonna get one of them there. A lot of trading going on, and it's going to be down the middle. 3 versus 3 here. Bomb's still quite far back and a little bit scary. Apex, yeah, caught throwing a nade. m0NESY sees the opportunity. It's a nice fight. It's just so deadly accurate, and he'll take him down. 2 versus 2. And rotating in to control CT spawn. He's going to be catching that MP9 at range. And yeah, I wouldn't want to take that fight either as HooXi.
Hunter's trying to play and find a gap here in the smokes. If he can take down ZywOo in transition towards the site on his lonesome, then there is an opportunity here, but this is still looking good for Vitality.
Yes, it is. Sneaking across. ZywOo's not that scared. And Magus knows he's controlling CT spawn, so that's going to be the bomb plant. There isn't a kit currently picked up. Some grenades scattered on the ground, but really more than anything else, G2 need to find a really swift shot.
This is perfect for the post plant. Both playing from CT spawn, without a kit, without a smoke, with nothing. He's retaking from A ramp with an MP9. This one's done.
Yeah, I don't see them doing this either. Deep flashbang. It better be the best flashbang of all time, and it does take down ZywOo, but Magus there to recover it quickly, and HooXi trying to run him down. Oh! One single click of that AK, and it's a 16-8 scoreline as Vitality claim the opening map of the semifinals.
Yeah, Apex getting really fired up about that one. You can understand a 7-3 start to this game ends up being 16-8. The only solace for G2 right now is the next map is going to be Inferno. It's a comfortable map for them. They get to start on the CT side because it's Vitality's pick, but they're 1 up in the series right now, and there's real trouble for G2 on the other side. We'll head to a break, we'll head to the desk, and then we'll be back with Inferno. Don't go anywhere.